morning, Dixon. My name's Josh Hudson. I'm a longtime resident of Dixon. I've been here for 30 years, since about 1987. I've been employed with the city for 14 years, and the last 2 of those years I have been operating and maintaining your water system. Some day-to-day operations, a little bit about what I do with the water system. We're responsible from everything from water quality, where we sample, monitor, and report, to the state, ensuring safe and healthy, clean drinking water, to distribution maintenance, service repairs, system repairs, and our facility operations and repairs. So that's where we are now at one of our wells.
We get a lot of questions about the quality of our water system, and so Josh, can you tell us a little bit about wells? We get a lot of questions about wells specifically.
Sure. The quality of our water is of utmost importance. It's our #1 priority. But to give you a little idea of the sources, what feeds our water distribution system, we have 5 deep wells. We have 3 deep wells that feed storage tanks, and we have 2 wells that are direct feed wells. Where we're standing now is DW44, otherwise known as industrial well. We call it industrial well because it was built to serve the industrial system initially, and then as the city grew and the system expanded, we added on and it serves more of the system now. Industrial well is our oldest well. It was built somewhere around 1976, 1977, when the Dixon municipal water system was created. This is, again, our oldest well, where we have really the most amount of problems with it. We recently, speaking of quality, we've recently had to reclassify this well through the state as an emergency standby source. We've had a lot of concern with the quality of water that it was producing. We are held to rigorous monitoring and quality standards through the state, so we're never necessarily concerned about an immediate health hazard, but we're concerned just the overall quality of the water that this well was now able to produce. We've had multiple rehabilitation efforts on this well where they've pulled the casing and relined it. There's some screens at the bottom that filter out sand and the natural earth, and those have failed. And so part of the attempt with the rehabilitation was to fix those as well. And after multiple failed attempts, we now actually can't meet the minimum state requirements for monitoring to get samples where we can get accurate analysis to keep this as an ongoing standard source. So we moved it to an emergency source because it allows it to still be a part of the system and contribute in the case of an emergency, high demand, fire, if we absolutely had to put it on. But it allows us to, we're not held to the same standards, so we don't have to monitor it as rigorously, so the state will accept it as a backup source. Just to give you an idea of how bad the sand was, it's pulling water out of the ground. It's feeding the tank over there, which we'll head next. But when we pulled that tank off for inspection, we found a pile of sand inside of a 1.5 million gallon tank that was about 5-6 foot tall and 20 foot in diameter. So it's an extraordinary amount of sediment that this thing's pulling up through the earth, kind of polluting the water with.
So thanks, Josh, for telling us about industrial well. We get a lot of questions about storage tanks too, which we've moved over here. Can you tell us how many tanks we have and a little bit about them?
Absolutely. So we have 4 storage tanks as part of your distribution system. We have an 800,000 gallon storage tank at the Watson Ranch facility. We have 2 1 million gallon tanks at our Park Lane facility, which is out by the high school. And we have this 1.5 million gallon tank here at our Fitzgerald Booster Station facility. This is a tank I was referring to that industrial well used to fill. Again, when we pulled this tank from service for one of our routine inspections and cleanings, that's when we found that the sanding problem with well 44 had really become an issue. When we cleaned this tank, pulled the sand out, again, the pile was about 5 feet high and about 40 foot long, the equivalent of about 50 ton of sand or 10 dump truck loads. So again, it was an extraordinary amount of sand that had been pulled up through the well and into the tank. So since that, we have had the tank cleaned. It actually forced us to recoat the tank, which was quite pricey, but we sandblasted, recoated the tank, disinfected it, and it has since been put back into operations. The only caveat is now we no longer fill it off of industrial well, we just backfeed the distribution system, the other sources, to fill it, to hold that water for storage and emergency. So we've done everything in our power to keep industrial well separate from this storage tank, since we've just invested so much time, energy, and money into its integrity. Taking it out of service was just part of our routine inspections and maintenance. We inspect them daily. We do detailed inspections annually, and then every 5 years we'll pull our tanks from service, we'll clean them out and do a detailed interior inspection, and then those inspections will give us an idea of routine intervals, or if we need to go into further maintenance as far as doing spot work, recoating, or full recoating. The coatings on these last about 30 years, so our system is about 30 years old, and the tanks all have staggered in.
So Josh, other than the wells and tanks, what other type of repairs and service calls do you get?
Yeah, we're responsible for quite a few different repairs. We do a lot of distribution system repairs, which include service lines, service line replumbing. We change meters, we do hydrant repairs, we work on our isolation valves. We've got all of our booster pumps here at our booster facilities that we work on. Not to mention really all of the upkeep and the routine maintenance and inspections. I mean, the repairs are important. They put out the fires, but it's the routine maintenance really that helps point out those things that are in need of repair that hopefully we can fix before they completely go out. So it's really the routine maintenance that we try and focus on. Though we are responsible for a lot of repairs, it's the routine maintenance that keeps us prepared, keeps us from having further outages.
So Josh, you talked about outages and the importance of water storage. Why would that be important?
Yeah, again, the importance of our storage tanks, our storage facilities, are to make sure that we can meet peak demands, but most importantly to make sure that we have enough reserve on hand for fire protection. I mean, really, water and fire go hand in hand. Water distribution and your firefighters, a lot of people don't see that connection, but there's a huge connection there, and it's a huge responsibility, not only our water quality, but to make sure we have enough storage at our facilities to supply them with the water they need to keep our town safe.
Got it. Yeah, fire prevention is important. So thank you for giving us the tour and for telling us all about the wells, tanks, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. We take a lot of pride in what we do and the water we serve here. Customer service, water quality, those are our number one priorities. If there's ever a time where a customer has a complaint, a concern, if they have some questions about conservation, if they need a leak check, we're always here to help. Please feel free, reach out, give us a call. We have a great response time. We love what we do. We love serving our community. You can reach us at 678-7030. You can reach our billing department, 678-7005. Either one of those can get you in touch with one of our technicians. We're happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,